How do I factor a trinomial when the leading coefficient is 1? Well, this trinomial is a special polynomial because it has 3 terms. So the form it's written in is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, looking at the example that I've given you, a will go with the x squared, the coefficient of x squared. And the coefficient of x squared is 1. Okay? And then b would be 8x. And c would be 15. Now, let's look at this trinomial. We need to find 2 integers, r and s, whose product is c and whose sum is b. So let's do that. So we have 15 as our c and 8 is our b. So we need to think about what 2 factors when multiplied together gives us 15. Well, we know that 1 times 15 is 15, but 1 plus 15 is not 8. So that's not going to work. It's 16. So what are other factors of 15 that can give us 8? Think about it. Yes, that's right. 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So that would be the correct factors that we're looking for. So how do we write that? How do we write our trinomial factors? So if we look here, it tells us the quantity of x plus r times the quantity of x plus s is how we would write our factors out. So let's do that. X plus 3. It doesn't matter if you did 5 first or 3 first. I'm just doing 3 first. Then you'll do x plus 5. Okay? How do I know to start with x? Because our leading coefficient is 1 and term is x squared. So x times x is x squared. So let's check this. Let's check our work. I like to check the work with an area model. So let's use this area model to check our work. So I normally put the first factor on the top. It really doesn't matter. It's just up to you and your preference. So I'm going to put x and 3 at the top and x and 5 on the side. And we need to remember we're multiplying. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, we see our x squared and we can see our 15. But how do we get our 8x, our b term? Well, to get our b term, we need to add these 2 terms. So we need to add 5x plus 3x. That equals 8x. And that is what this is talking about. Okay? So now that is how you factor a trinomial when the leading coefficient is 1 and how you check it. You want to do another one? I thought you would. Let's try again. So if we have the trinomial x squared minus 8x plus 15, we do it the same exact way. We will put 15 here, and we will put, this time, negative 8 down here. So we will do the same process. 1 times 15 is 15. 1 plus 15 is 16. Okay, hold on. I remember something about integers. Integers says when you multiply factors and you get a negative, they have to be different signs. So that means I need to have one positive factor and one negative factor. So let's see how we could do that. But then my C is positive. So that means when I multiply the two numbers, they have to have the same sign so that my C can be positive. But when I add them, when I'm adding two negative numbers, my answer is still going to be negative. I get it. Okay. So we will be using this time -3 and -5. Let's check that. -3 times -5 is 15. -3 plus -5 is -8. Because if I lose 3 and I lost 5 more, that means I lost a total of 8. So how do I write my trinomial? Remember, when we write our trinomial factors, you write it just like this each time. So you write your two parentheses, you have your x in the beginning, and then this time both of our factors are negative, so we will have subtraction in both parentheses. And then we'll have 3 and a 5. So let's see if we're correct. Let's check it. So same process as before. We'll write x and a -3 at the top, x and a -5 on the side. So let's multiply. X times x is x squared. X times -5 is -5x. -3 times x is -3x. And -3 times -5 is +15. So how do we get our b term again? We do this right here. We add rx plus sx. And here's our rs, x, and sx. So let's do that. -5x plus -3x. That does give us a -8x. So that's how you would factor this trinomial. Do you want to do another one? I thought you would say you would. So let's try another one. So this time I notice a difference. We have two subtraction signs in this problem. So let's try to think about this. So if both of them are negative, that means my two factors need to be one negative and one positive. And then if I'm adding, I can have two negatives or I can have a negative and a positive. It just depends on the greater absolute value. So let's try to work this out. This time I'm not going to use the X. I'm going to make a list, a factor list. So let's do this. So we have 1. Let's use a different color. 1 times 15 equals 15. -1 times 15 equals -15. -1 times -15 equals +15. So we were able to get a -15. So let's do the same thing and add 1 plus 15, that's 16. So no, it doesn't check out. So let's keep going. -1 plus 15, that's 14. So it doesn't check out. Let's keep going. -1 plus -15. That's negative 16.